we'll go take a moment and speak with Mother Dearest. Hey, Mom, it's your son who you thought was dead, and I'm sure you watched me kill Sis. So anyway, how you doing? All right. So yeah, when we found the safe house, when we had first stepped out, she was like right here in the hallway. She seems to have departed, but that's fine. We will go look around the house. This is perhaps the first time we're ransacking a house that I don't feel like we're... Oh, that's super depressing. Are there no flowers in front of my room? There's flowers in front of what I can only assume is Mary. Hi. No, nothing. Sorry, Mom. Just, you know, just taking a look around.
Yes,
Oh,
Jonathan. Spending next summer in France. Absolutely. Why not?
Okay, so Mom's just going crazy. Before we chat with her, let's take a look around. My goodness. What was her name? The woman over at the night asylum, like, immediately took umbrage with us. Oh, that's the key we found. And was like giving us the business because we were rich and well heeled. And I poo-pooed her at the time, but seeing as how the Reid estate is seemingly even nicer than Lady Ashbury's mansion, maybe she had the right of it. Perhaps we are a bit of a silver spoon case. Let's see. 6 shillings. This sweet, sweet mansion in just 6 shillings. I don't know if this texture is broken or if this is their attempt at light refraction on this vase. That's super... Not vase, picture. That's very bizarre. For a game that has otherwise had very, very good lighting and shading, that is a sore thumb. It kind of, it almost looks like that weird gleam we get every once in a while on plants. So I wonder if that's something just with like their shader package. Ooh, a letter. Aubrey Reid's first letter. Reid Mansion, 4th April, 1908. Dear, my dear and beloved John, when you receive this letter, you will be 35 and I'll be long gone. I feel a little silly writing you this first letter that you won't read for a few years. I struggled for a long time about how best to write you this, until I remembered the puzzle and riddles I invented for you when you were a boy. Oh, how you loved to solve those enigmas. He's clearly talking to the character, not me, because I'm not interested in solving enigmas. Well, I found it would be a good idea to propose to you one final game. It will probably be less rewarding. No candies or exotic treasures for you to decipher, or for you if you decipher the game this time, but a greater treasure, perhaps, the truth. This is my only attempt for you to explain why I chose to leave my family without an explanation. If you want to know why, simply play my little game. It's really up to you, my son. Rest assured that I love you. I promise my family was and still is everything to me. I remember the first time I held you and your sister in my arms, my treasures, my jewels. To see you grow up, play, and laugh filled my heart with joy every time I went back to our home. I could have killed to protect you, my son, my daughter, my wife, but fate found me in the end, and I had to make a tough decision. The worst was to disappear without a word. I decided to do it anyway, and soon I'll be gone for good. I don't ask for forgiveness, but for understanding. If you want to know more, all you have to do is remember how happy we were back in those days. If you want to find the next message, think green grass and tall trees on sunny Sundays. From your affectionate father, Aubrey Reid.
I remember Sunday walks in the park.
Hello, Julie Fish. Interesting. So, Jonathan has not done a ton of kind of monologuing about his life before the onset of the game, right? We know about the war. We know a little bit about his history as a doctor and what he's done with blood transfusion. He's talked a little bit about his family, right? But even then, it's normally something as simple as like, "Oh, my sweet Mary, she was so good." So I don't remember at any point him talking at length about his father abandoning him. I'm sure that it's been mentioned in passing, probably with another character, but that seems somewhat significant. Did that turn a journey to the past? Find the second part of your father's testament. Interesting. All right, well, so I guess we can chalk that into the same pile as like the missing Braille letters that we have to go find for the guy in Whitechapel. Let's talk to Mama.
Good evening.
Jonathan, is it you? Where have you been, my prodigal son?
I'm right here, Mother. I'm finally home.
Yes, for this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and now found. But where is your sister? Where is Mary?
Mary? She is gone, Mother.
I know she's gone. The question is, when will she return as you have? I miss my grandson so much. It's been days since their last visit.
Uh-oh. Not looking great for Mama Reid.
Do you need my medical attention, Mother?
I'm all right, son. Don't worry about me.
So either it's due to her advanced age, or perhaps maybe her mind just broke in the cemetery when Mary and I fought. But she doesn't seem to really know all of what's going on. I also don't know 100% about what they thought of Dr. Reid, right? Like Mary was convinced he was alive. He had just disappeared at the beginning of the game when we were bitten and turned. So I'm wondering if she actually thought we died and were brought back, and she thinks perhaps the same thing can happen to Mary. Or if she just thinks, you know, oh, I didn't die and now I'm just found again. Let's just kind of go through her dialogues here.
Mother, do you know what's been going on in this area?
Not really. I don't go out much due to the epidemic, and when I do, I tend to get lost.
What do you mean you get lost? I hope you don't go outside alone.
Of course not. When I go out, your father always comes with me, but he leaves me there sometimes, and I have trouble finding the way back.
So that obviously makes it sound more like it's a kind of a dementia thing. So she's saying that father goes out with her, and based on the letter we just read, that does not seem to be the case. I also don't go out much due to the epidemic or Actus. Yeah, I can understand that. Well, remember, like, their epidemic and our epidemic weirdly related, right? Like, I know this is your first night tuning in. Mask orders all over the city. A handful of people that are scared of it and a handful of people that aren't. It's been kind of an interesting thing to play in our current climate.
Have you returned to Whitechapel Cemetery since Mary's funeral?
I never want to go back to that awful place. Wait. I think I went back once. And you were there too. And Mary? No, that can't be true.
It was just a bad dream, Mother.
A nightmare, yes. Mary was so angry. I walked back home alone. If that kind policeman had not called Avery from the station, I don't know what would have happened.
So she mentioned Avery. So I'm assuming Avery's the guy that was there at Mary's actual funeral. So remember, we saw her at Mary's actual funeral. And then the next time we saw her was when Mary had absconded with her and brought her to the cemetery to lure us out into our big fight. So Avery must be like a butler or like a handler.
Do you need anything, Mother? Can I help you?
I just want you to stay with me, Jonathan. Your room is ready. I asked Avery to make your bed.
I'll stay as long as I can, I promise. Do you need anything else?
Just one thing. Stop staring at me like that. As much as I love you, it breaks my heart to look at those empty and dead eyes.
Wow. Okay, so maybe she knows more than I gave her credit for.
Are you working on a new painting?
Not recently. I have trouble focusing on my subject and my mind quickly drifts. It's the same thing when I try to write poetry.
I recently met a talented painter with an excellent technique. I wish you two could meet. I'm sure you'd like her.
I'd be glad to meet her. What is her name? Is she famous? Is she dead too?
She's not famous, and her name is of no importance. And yes, she is also dead.
The important thing is, I hope you two get along. If she ever fancies meeting your mother, I'd be glad to welcome her into my home.
Okay, so this completely puts me on tilt. Does Mary and my mother's conversation in the cemetery mean that Mama Emmeline here absolutely knows that we're undead? Like, she sounds pretty hip to us being dead, and I did not get that from the dialogue in the cemetery. Like, she seemed almost like catatonic in the cemetery, so I did not envision her as kind of like understanding what was going down. Game sounds a little low. Is there a consensus in the chat, or is that just one? Pretty accepting to unique relationships. You're right, Julie. She's definitely like, you know what? Thanks for being supportive, Ma. I appreciate you. Yes, I am now dead and I have a dead girlfriend. So thanks for understanding our dead love. Yeah, someone else is saying this sounds good, so it might be you, Afterlife.
Why do you say Mary is visiting you, Mother? You know that's impossible.
Why should it be? Are you not standing in front of me right now? Why should it be any different with your sister?
But Mary really is dead, Mother.
Yes. And are you not dead too? Isn't your father dead? And my grandson and my son-in-law, you're all gone. But you all still visit me from time to time.
But I'm not dead, Mother. I'm really here, talking to you, trying not to cry.
Oh, it breaks my heart to have to tell you this. But of course you're dead, my darling boy. Just look at you, as pale as my Mary.
Interesting. See, maybe it's just like, you know, we've alluded to the fact that she's a painter and a poet. She's got kind of an artistic soul. Maybe this is just like,
Father seems to have left me some documents. Some sort of treasure hunt game. Do you know anything about them?
No, Johnny. But your father always loved to write these little games for you when you were a boy. Don't you remember?
I remember now. He used to post me these riddles, as though they were sent by a mysterious games master. I'd spend weeks trying to decipher them.
Your father was always so proud each time you found the answer. He was not just the serious doer banker everybody thought he was.
I was proud too. How could I forget that?
The important thing is that you remember it now. I'll tell your father the next time I see him. He'll be so happy.
Could Father have conceived some sort of final game for me before he left?
I really can't say, Johnny. Perhaps you should talk with Avery about that. He was your father's confidant, more than I.
So I got sidetracked there because we were talking about the puzzle,
son.
but
Please
maybe it's just that she's got kind of an artistic soul and she's got a flair for the dramatic, and especially now that she's in a position where her mind isn't all there, she's just kind of hallucinating her way through memories. That's very sad. It's interesting too, with how much Jonathan has at times kind of like done off the cuff diagnoses. It's somewhat telling because of the time period we're in that he wouldn't have mentioned anything about like dementia or anything like that. All right, so is Avery here in the house somewhere? My God, yeah, okay, Avery's cleaning. We have an outrageously nice home. When we were struggling for valuables and medicine and supplies for the Pembroke. I know that we weren't supposed to go home and we weren't supposed to kind of reveal ourselves to our loved ones, but little ridiculous that Jonathan wasn't just like, why don't I go sell a couple things back at the house? We'll get what we need. All right, Avery, how are you?
Avery.
Mr. Jonathan, I can't believe my own eyes. Oh, it's a miracle. We all thought you were... Oh, sir, your poor sister. What a tragedy.
I know, Avery. I know about my sister's murder.
Miss Reid expected you to return to assist with the funeral, right up until the last minute. Where have you been, Mr. Jonathan? We needed you here.
So that somewhat confirms the situation with Mother. Like, Avery obviously is not tuned into this idea that we're dead and walk among the living. He just thinks we were missing.
Do you need medical attention, Avery?
Thank you, but I'm all right, sir.
How is my mother?
Not well, I'm afraid, sir. Miss Reid is very fragile since the police brought her back home.
The police? What happened?
Miss Reid was found walking in the streets. She kept saying she had spoken with her son and daughter. She's resting now.
Has she received appropriate medical care?
I'm taking care of Miss Reid myself. Hospitals are so overwhelmed by the epidemic that they can only accept patients infected by influenza.
Avery is the only one who is looking after Emmeline Reid now. You know, it's somewhat frustrating. I don't think I've talked about it before, but when we get those clues that kind of like trigger a clue for two different people, I wish they would just pop up together.
Perhaps we could arrange a short trip. Somewhere sunny, like France. She has always been very fond of France. I think leaving London could do her good.
I'm afraid Miss Reid is too frail for the moment. Recently, she started going out at night without remembering it. I have to watch her carefully.
What is the situation in this part of town?
For a time, the West End seemed spared by the epidemic. But the situation is getting much worse.
Have you no relatives anywhere? I'll understand if you want to take a few days to see family.
Your father managed to guarantee my earnings as long as I take care of this house, sir. My sisters are dead, and I've never met my nephews. I'll stay, sir.
Avery has been paid to take care of the Reid's family until his last breath.
I'm sorry I could not be here for Mary's funeral.
Your mother was strong, sir, but your support would have been appreciated. Apart from the priest and I, no one else attended your sister's funeral.
To be present at the funeral with you both was my dearest wish, Avery. But I am sorry, I simply could not attend.
I would not dare to question your absence, Mr. Jonathan. All I can say is that we missed you a great deal during these difficult days.
So Avery not got a ton to tell us. We're going to press him with the vamp talk, but first I want to see what he can tell us about this little clue that Dad left.
I found an old letter written by my father and addressed to me. Do you know anything about it, Avery?
Your father wanted me to give you this letter for your 35th birthday, but you left for the war, and the letter remained in his office until tonight.
I realize now you knew my father better than I did. Do you know why he left, Avery? Did he ever speak to you about his departure?
No, sir. Mr. Reid was not exactly forthcoming. Perhaps this letter will give you the information you require.
Tell me the truth, Avery. Do you feel forced to stay here? Would you leave this house without the arrangement made by my father?
No, sir. I have nowhere else to go. And I promised your father I'd take care of his family as long as I lived.
This house is dead, Avery. There is a curse on this family. You really should consider leaving.
If only you could have been here sooner or more often. maybe this house would not be that empty. But you're here now, sir, so my task is not over.
Avery wishes the young Jonathan Reid would take more care of his mother. All right, so Avery we've got filled out pretty quick. And I don't think he's going to leave this room, so he's perhaps just a snack for us if we decide we're going to have to start eating people.
You have served this family extremely well, Avery. Your support during these terrible times is much appreciated.
Then I will stay. All I ask is that you take care of my own funeral if I die before the end of the epidemic. No mass grave, please, sir.
Oh, absolutely we won't throw you in a mass grave, my dude. You're getting the VIP treatment. It's kind of sad. Yeah, it is kind of sad, Afterlife. Like, you know, he's doing that thing that you see it like it's always part of the Batman trope, right? Like Alfred can kind of like hint that Batman and Bruce are doing something ridiculous, but don't come right out and say it. There's that like kind of thin line when you're hired into a kind of a servitude role like that, where, you know, I'm sure Avery doesn't feel like it's his place to dress Jonathan down, but like Jonathan done effed up.
Do you really think I don't take enough care of my mother, Avery?
Yes, I do, Mr. Jonathan.
You clearly have something more to say. Speak your mind, Avery.
I know you work hard to help the sick, but what will you do once the epidemic is over?
My home is here. I really don't know. This is not my home anymore. This is tough, right? Because they're throwing these like very heavy familial kind of scenarios at us, and it's not really anything that Jonathan's explored. Like, again, other than lamenting that his sister was dead.
I really don't know. I have always enjoyed seeing new horizons. Once the epidemic is over, it would be nice to leave London for a while.
I understand, Mr. Jonathan. But you have to realize that your mother needs you. Your next departure could break her heart.
Goodbye, Avery.
I don't think
Please watch over
Mama
my mother
Reid
until I return.
wants to
Of
be around
course,
and
Mr. Johnson.
watch me continue
please
to
return as
turn into a
soon as
pale
possible.
monster. So kind of oh man, this one's so far up. Kind of hidden away here, a little conversation with Mrs. Reid and with our butler, I guess. I think Mom does think vampires are cool, Arachnus. I don't think you're wrong there, especially with that kind of like she couldn't go 4 sentences before she was talking about all the artsy stuff she does, right? So she's probably down with the whole Vamp Lord thing. Ooh, old letter. Let's see. Oh, this is from our father to Avery. Old letter, Reid Mansion, 8th March 1908. My dear Avery, as I already told you several days ago, I may be forced to leave England, if only for a few months. While I'm away, and until my son comes back to London, I want you to take the best care of our house. I already made the entire necessary arrangements to have your wages increased and paid as long as you'll work. You promised me you'd protect my dear wife and serve her to the best of your ability. For that, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. If I am never to return, you are the only man I fully trust. Believe me, your most affectionate friend, Aubrey Reid. Well, I mean, I don't know how much I trust him if he's taking stuff out of these display cabinets, hawking them. Got a side business running, I bet. Either that or the Dragonborn's been here and there's just never any display cases left unmolested. All right, so Doris Fletcher's Theater is our goal from a story standpoint. I'm just scrolling down to see if there's any more fresh conversations. Swansea and Ashbury are both marked for new dialogues. Throw your son under the bus. You're right. Hey, Dad, how come you trust the butler and not your boy? Come on, man. I mean, for all I know, it's because he was like, yeah, I can't trust that kid. He's going to be a vampire someday, I bet. All right, let's head back towards Lady Ashbury's, and we'll go ding out her dialogue, Edgar's dialogue, and then we'll go take a crack at, oh, that's right, we can't go through here. And then we'll take a crack at, oh wait, can we unlock this now? Oh, beautiful. Giving us that little cut through. Appreciate you. Then we'll go to talk to Fletcher. We have to go to her theatre. So here is what I can only imagine is going to be yet another dialogue in our extremely fast courtship of the Lady Elizabeth Ashbury. So we'll see if this time the conversation just goes straight to like pet nicknames and awkward ankle showing. Where are you, Ashbury? Yeah, like I think it's kind of implied that her house is larger than this because there's doors we can't go through in several spots here. But like, her house ain't all that much more swank than the Reid estate, and she's had vampiric lifetimes in which to kind of up her game, so...
Good evening, Jonathan. How are you?
I'm still investigating from inside the Ascalon Club. Can we talk?
Of course, my dear.
There are many paintings adorning the walls here.
Yes?
Did you paint them?
No, my dear. But some of them. I have had a long time to learn from the best. I'm currently working on what could be my greatest masterpiece.
What is this masterpiece?
Your portrait, my dear Jonathan. It'll be my gift to you, if I ever have time to finish it.
Have you met any famous painters?
Are you trying to divine my age by cross-checking historical dates, my dear? That's a devious parlor trick.
Well, Elizabeth, I tried my best. Don't I deserve some reward at least?
Well, if you must know, I even posed for the greats. Now that you know it, you may recognize me when visiting museums.
I have investigated new sources of infection, and I may have found a new type of skull. One suffering from heavy mutations that is extremely contagious.
Scowls come in various forms, you know. They are simply degenerate versions of their makers.
I believe these families are different, and I'm currently pursuing a lead. I know I can find the true source of contagion by finding who created these creatures.
That would be great news. Be very careful, my dear, when dealing with such creatures.
How is your investigation going?
I have decided to explore beyond the dictates of reason.
What do you mean?
You may on occasion find this house closed when you visit me. If so, it is because I have gone undercover. Sort of.
Who are you going to surveil? I hope you're not considering spying on McCullum or the Guard of Prewan.
No. I intend to ask a few questions in parts of town I rarely venture into. Dirty places where a delicate lady like myself should never be seen.
When will you return?
As soon as possible. And I don't intend to stay away for long.
Goodbye, my
Interesting.
Goodbye, my beloved.
Man, already on to the My Beloveds. Is any progress on the painting? No, but it's, I mean, she's got a good foundation in place. I need more exposed veins in my face for it to truly be accurate, Elizabeth. So like Elizabeth off undercover, to me that kind of reeks of a late plot twist where she's gonna need rescuing, which is kind of a bummer. Like they've done a decent job of her kind of being my tutor in all things econ or econ, so it'd be kind of a disappointment if they just downgraded her to damsel in distress.
Lively! It's on to us!
That gun was not pointed anywhere near me, and he managed to still get me. You were right about the pet names. I was like, how weird is it that every time we talk to her, it's like there's been a 3-month time advance. Like, my beloved is getting thrown around pretty regularly. Maybe that's just how courtship was in London after the Great War. People were like, dude, we could be dead in days. We need to just get on with it. All right. Let's go see Edgar right quick. Oh, man, we have 6,000 experience. Time has less meaning for her. That's probably accurate, too. Like, you know, she mentioned to a degree about kind of some of the personal relationships she's maintained with mortals, and we met her daughter. So we know that she, on occasion at least, is interacting with people of the mortal coil, but probably she'd be more comfortable with someone who was also an immortal. And her daughter even said something. She was like, you know, sometimes I wonder if I'm the only one she's adopted, or if this is, you know, like something she does on the regular to stay somewhat grounded. So let's see what Edgar's got to say here. Edgar, my dude.
Hello, Jonathan. How are things on the West End front?
Complicated, my friend. The rich and powerful feel threatened by the disease and have asked me to put an end to it.
Yes. It is odd how resolving a crisis suddenly increases in urgency when it affects those who matter.
Affects those who matter. I'm sure that's how they would think of it. We asked him about the Ascalon Club, but he didn't know much.
Does the Brotherhood of St. Paul know anything about the Ascalon Club?
Well, I'm afraid that's unlikely. Ascalon is a sensitive topic, and whatever material the Brotherhood has, I may not have access to.
Who could answer me then?
Usher Talltree, our current primate, may be the only one able to answer you. He's a discreet man who lives in the West End.
Oh, so the Usher Talltree from the literature that we've been finding that are like principles and philosophizing for the Brotherhood, that dude's here in London.
It looks like the epidemic is spreading to the western districts of London. I am trying to locate the source of the infection.
It won't be an easy task, my friend. This disease is highly contagious.
Do you not think epidemiology could be helpful in this matter? To retrace the origin of infection through time and topology?
If anyone can perform such a miracle, it will be you, Dr. Reid.
Since this epidemic is evidently linked to the vampire curse, we must find the original carrier to understand where it comes from.
I admire your logic, Jonathan, but be careful. Rationality, when it comes to your kind, is not always a reliable lens.
I mean, I've got a feeling that that's probably this Doris Fletcher that we're trying to chase down right now, because we just saw how she was related to those 2 households in the West End that are infected. So if not all of London, well, so I guess that wouldn't make sense, right? Because if it was all of London, she'd probably have started it in the West End. So maybe she's just the source for the West End.
Do you know Aloysius Dawson, the famous tycoon, is well versed in vampire and occult knowledge?
No, I did not. But that is no surprise. For half a century, it has been quite the trend for English nobility to join secret societies and occult circles.
Yeah, like Aleister Crowley.
But Aloysius Dawson is only a rich merchant.
Yes, richer than Croesus. Wealth is more respected than title these days, even in England.
Did he contact the Brotherhood of St. Paul? Try to join your group?
It would not surprise me, but I am certain he's never been a member.
I get the feeling that Swansea isn't like a bigwig in the Brotherhood of St. Paul. Like, it sounds like he's well versed and he's well educated.
Thank you for your time,
But
Edgar.
every time we ask him stuff that seems like it's kind of about the inner workings of the Brotherhood, he always offers us up kind of like a half answer. Right quick, let me head to our lab. I think I'm going to mix up a couple of serums because we used some. We have a ton of experience, but I don't want to sleep because we do have a couple citizens. Oh, that's right. 2 of them are here in the hospital, so we'll get those knocked out right quick. But up in Whitechapel, the widow we met in the cemetery has a cold, and I don't want to sleep without curing it. So Pippa, Newton, and so we got to have 3 cold remedies. And probably we'll keep 1 in the bank like we do. So let's make a migraine medicine to have 1 banked. And then let's make 3 cold medicines. Oh, and this is the one. Yeah. That's the one from the boss we just killed. So this is for 140 blood points instantly, but it is expensive. 15 opium. Nah. I'll stick with my weak ones. I will cash in for a couple medium level health ones though, because those tend to at least yield it. I made it. Thanks for streaming. Hey, Yubi Mika. I'm glad you made it. We went and talked to Mom is probably the most significant thing you missed. And we're convinced Mom's got a little bit of dementia. She doesn't seem to have a firm grip on reality. But in a delightful twist, it means she's the only one that we talk to that seems to know we're dead.
But the suffering continues.
Where is Pippa? She's normally running around over on this side. Did they clean up in here? Yeah, it looks like they did. Good for them. All right. Finally, something going on here in the hospital that's a little bit
I
decent.
wonder what your last
This is Pippa, right?
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good
Yeah.
evening, Dr. Reid.
Do you need medical help yourself, Nurse?
I'm afraid I've contracted some illness, Dr. Reid.
It might be
Not under my watch, Nurse.
because you're working in a rundown hospital
Dr.
during
Reid.
the pandemic. All right.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Pippa's good. Other dude we gotta give cold medicine to is the guy down on the canal. The guy who's afraid of rats. So we'll go get that set.
This city is more peaceful without the bombs, but no less dangerous.
Oh, there he is. Hey, bud. Heard you're not feeling great.
Hello again, Mr. Blight.
Good evening, Dr. Reid.
Man,
doing your
having the
rounds as
last name
usual?
Blight during the Spanish flu, not great.
Are you concerned about the living conditions in the city?
Of course I am. I'll be stuck here for as long as Oswald refuses to go to hospital. And, unfortunately, it seems the violence is rising.
What kind of violence?
I believe people have armed themselves and started to attack those that show signs of contagion.
You're not wrong. Often,
Do you
it is
need
me
medical
they are
attention,
attacking.
sir?
Afraid so. In the war, I was always worried about picking up something, getting some infection. Unfortunately, I've got that fear in London now.
Oh, I got you though, bud.
Throughout history, some diseases have done more damage to armies than any weapon created by man. You are wise to be careful.
You're working at the Pembroke Hospital, aren't you? That's a good enough reason for me and Oswald to go there.
Goodbye, Mr. Blight. Take care of yourself.
All right, so that's 2 of the 3 sick handled. So we'd have to go up into Whitechapel to cure the widow, but we could do that and then double back. That way, if we're in a situation where we're struggling with this story quest, if we need to go sleep and level up, we can do so. So I'm probably going to do that. I am going to take a real quick break, though, because I was getting everything set up to be able to watch election results come in. I didn't fill up my water like a dummy, so I'm going to take kind of an early break here. It'll be real fast, and I'll be right back. All right.
Bombs, but no less dangerous.
Sorry about that. I had fiddled with my screen layout earlier so that I could get results and stuff on one monitor without it blocking chat. And it took me long enough that I must have forgotten my water bottle. So let's take a quick spin up into Whitechapel. There's still someone in Whitechapel that we haven't met, too, which is somewhat frustrating. I love when we just have combat against one guy, and I can just, like, slowly stalk them down like this. It makes Reid look like such a badass. Come here. Oh, I don't look like a badass when I'm on my back. Oh, I have no blood. I'm gonna die to this guy. We're having that same problem again. So I have no blood, and these guys I'm killing so fast I can't stun them to get blood. So we're gonna have to go find some rats. I know there's a couple people in chat that have a tendency to multitask and watch more than one thing at a time. It is worth pointing out that the way I solved my layout problems tonight is that Firefox now natively supports picture-in-picture for all video playback. So even if it's just a simple YouTube, you can just pop the video out on YouTube. It'll be just the video, none of the like trim of the window or chat or theater modes or anything like that. And just overlay it on top of whatever it is you're using. So, if you're looking for a way to watch several things at once, maybe go take a look at Firefox. Alright, we need rats badly. I think it's just Firefox, Mika. As far as I know, it's actually a Firefox feature. It basically like hooks the video playback process before it displays it. So it's not like something built into YouTube. It's something actually in the core of Firefox. Whoa. Gonna die if we're not careful. Oh, finally some blood. Thank goodness. Give me all that yummy blood. Alright, that's all I actually needed you for, so now you can take a nap. Alright. Take a bunch of medicines. I don't remember, so like I know we convinced the widow to head back to Whitechapel, but I don't know if we ever actually determined where it is she hangs out in Whitechapel, so that might take a minute. Oh god, that freaking attack animation. It's the worst. We're just gonna have to resort to walking around with vamp vision on. That's something that I probably don't do enough of when we're looking for someone. Like, as long as we're staying in the general area, the vamp vision should make it fairly easy to find them. Hang a left. Right? Nope. The other left. I don't think we really have anything else we super need to do in Whitechapel. We do still have the, we still have the need to go and find the rest of the Braille. But, again, I'm somewhat reluctant to spend a ton of time just searching. That's something I may even, depending on how many more nights of Vampire we have in store for us here, I might just do that on my own time so that I know where they are, and then I'll wait to turn it in for when we're streaming. I'm still trying to find a good balance, it's Darius, between stuff to do on stream versus maybe stuff that could be ignored. Which, you know, Vampire hasn't made it that difficult because Vampire is so narratively driven that it's almost all narrative to begin with. This goes to combat. But I could see that being an issue if we wind up tackling anything from the backlog that's like, you know, a huge RPG, right? Like I have some I have some pretty significant playtime RPGs in the backlog, and I cannot imagine a world in which I played every minute of it live on stream. That might be something too. I've kind of started playing around with putting some stuff up on YouTube, so maybe stuff like that would be more suited for just doing like YouTube playthroughs. That way I could play it and edit it down. There she is. We found you. Is this...
Pain has made me blind. There are so many people who could use my help here.
I thought he was dead. Yeah, he ain't got no heartbeat. Are you just going through his pockets?
Good evening, Zhao Shun.
Wang Shanghao, Dr. Reid. It's good to see you again.
So she's probably got extra stuff to tell us too now that she's relocated.
Physically speaking, I mean.
I don't feel good, Dr. Reid. Not at all.
Oh no, Aractus, don't misunderstand. She absolutely can go through his pockets. That's basically all I've done all game.
You should recover quickly after taking this.
Thank you, Doctor.
What are you doing with your time now that you're back in Whitechapel?
I've decided to help the poor and sick of the neighborhood by handing out medicine.
Oh, so she's just checking to see if he had medicine in his pockets.
That's very charitable of you. But why do it at night?
I've noticed that the most desperate people tend to go out after dark. Hence my presence, to help them when I can.
I do it at night because then no one can see me pickpocketing corpses.
Giving out medicine? How can you afford to do that?
I am a rich widow, Dr. Reid. My departed husband left me enough money to last the rest of my life. I can spend some on those who don't have any.
Like Zhao Shun.
Why don't you move to a better neighborhood?
I thought about it, I confess. To go back to the same empty home every day still hurts me a lot.
Why stay here then?
I am a woman of habit, Dr. Reid. And for now, I am happier being useful in a familiar place than I would be anywhere else.
Plus, here in Whitechapel, I can enjoy my habit of stealing from the dead.
How do you feel now that you're back in Whitechapel?
I've decided to follow your advice, sir. I won't forget the dead, but my efforts will be for the living.
I've no doubt. That is a wise and useful attitude in this part of town.
To be completely honest with you, I am also doing this for myself. If I'm destined to survive this epidemic, I need my life to have some purpose.
Hopes to find a place where she will be useful.
Do you still think about your departed husband?
Of course I do. I'll never forget my beloved Matthew, but how do I put it? Now I miss him more than I want him back.
I know what you mean. And I think it means you're getting better.
Maybe death will take me the way it took Matthew. Without warning and without mercy. But until then, I live on.
Man, what a difference just getting out of the graveyard made for her. Because when we talked to her in the graveyard, she was absolutely not that pragmatic. All right, so that should be everyone who was sick. Yeah, she's on the road to recovery. Still a bunch of people in Whitechapel we haven't met. So before we go to sleep, we're probably going to want to do another spin through, or not Whitechapel, the West End. Man, and where is this dude? Just one random guy in Whitechapel. Let's go take a peek at Miss Fletcher's theater here. For that should yield some advanced story stuff for us. I don't know what just growled behind me, but I didn't like it. Oh, it's one of these guys. I actually don't think I need to screw with you. I thought we were going to be able to poke through that gate, but apparently not. Oh, man. Did you just jump up the bridge? Good gravy. Oh, did I wake up the skull, too? Brilliant. No, no. The sound that the like werewolfy skulls make, I swear to God, one of the noises they make is the same sound as when you wake a bear up in Skyrim. I think it might just be one of like the default like sound library noises.
For blood.
Let's chomp a bunch of rats.
This is despicable.
So I'm assuming, just kind of based on
Thirst for blood.
The track record we've had when we approach new story scenarios, my guess is that this Doris Fletcher, this enchanting woman of the theater that we've heard about over and over from the playbills and advertisements around London, is in fact a vampire. That would be my wager. Is this the way? Yeah. So I'm hopeful that she is a rational vampire. But I think we need to be prepared for the eventuality that she is in fact an adversary. I think we're going to be walking into a boss type encounter, which would be a lot of boss fights right in a row, because they gave us kind of, well, the two that we fought in the theater were like or in the houses on the way to the theater, they weren't really bosses. Can we take our curative? That's something we can do. You won't let me do it here? All right, well, I'm gonna jump out onto the street, take it here. Nope, still won't let me do it? Cool, thanks. We'll just do without it then, jerks. I really, you know, you'd think at this point, we're in what, chapter 4, chapter 5? Chapter 4, late in chapter 4, I would presume. Like, unlock the gates that are cutting off travel between the districts. If I never have to walk down specifically this street again, I will be a happy man. Or like, give me more like teleport spots where I can zip zap across the canal. That would be fine too. All right, so if instead of coming through there, we go up here, this should be on the way. What is this? Is this a hideout? Oh, sweet. Hang on. Can I take my... Yeah, here we go. Let me take these, top off, and now we're going to go make new serums real quick. All right, so we want another one of you. How expensive are you? Yeah, you're still pretty expensive too. We have like a real opium drought. If we had more opium, I would have a lot more options on what we take for serums into battle. So we gotta go down here. Yeah, it's down this way. Jesus, I almost landed on this guy. Buddy, no, come on. I just spent time, energy, and resources trying to top myself off. Alright. I hear rats, so we should top off here after killing these guys. Oh. Yeah, I blocked you with crates. What up, bud? The old crate defense. So, collect our parcels. And I believe... Where did we hear rats? Yeah. Get a little snack roll.
I'm doing this.
I should move on. You're right, friend.
Lisa, see how he's great.
Oh, I one-shotted him. Get wrecked. Man, after having struggled for so long with even just kind of basic combat in the streets, to find...
I'm sure Kaloon Russell has no interest in such a conventional...
Oh. That's for the,
despicable.
The, like, weird shop guy who wanted me to find him a cool restaurant. Maybe that's all we gotta do is read some sandwich boards. But that can wait until after we've gone to talk to Doris. All right, you guys are not as low level. Get out of here. Keep your Jesus to yourself. All right. Man, this guy looks like a Gary's mod pose the way this guy died. That's like some source filmmaker nonsense. So this would be Doris's theater, it would appear. The Finsbury Theater. Oh, it's got her like monogram above it. Look, DF. Man, I really wish this had an easy way to clear the HUD, because this is another kind of a cool screenshot of Reid like kind of staring up at this expectantly. A lot of
It's locked, all right.
a lot of wasted screenshot potential in this game. All right, so if it's locked, what do we normally do when it's locked? Either go around or there's a teleport spot that I missed. Is there a way in back on the map? Yeah, so it looks like maybe down here there's like some access alleyways. Probably just an excuse to make us fight more Prywin Guard. This is still kind of flanking the theater, right? Hi, guys.
Burn it, boys!
Oh, God, stop. It's rude. I hear one of those, like, poison skulls that we keep on having trouble with. Which, you know, is fine, because that's kind of the whole point of what I'm investigating here in the West End. But, like, I really don't want to keep fighting you. Okay, so is this getting me closer to the theater? It appears to. I can't get up to that balcony. Let's bum rush the priest guy. Oh, come on, really?
Have no fear.
Ooh. Ooh. Oh, that sucks all my blood out when he does that? Wow. What a jerk. All right. No big deal. Probably for the best that I lose one early here. The witch from Left 4 Dead. You're right. Yeah, like those ones specifically have that same kind of like pathetic echo in the distance. They were fairly recent. They weren't the ones that we've had all game, but even the earlier ones, like just the noise production, the sound design in general in this game has been very unnerving. You know, I keep saying we're killing people too fast to get blood from them. I'm totally forgetting how much more stun points we get for a parry. I didn't get my nightly reminder from Misha Fish to do parries instead of just beat everyone to death with my baseball bat. Oh my god, she's so loud down there. Alright. Let's try this again. I'm not going to use all my stamina on approach this time.
Over there.
So now we can get a bigger combo out to start. There we go. That's more what we wanted. Little snack. Beaut. Oh, the snack was enough to kill him even. Look at that. Oh, sorry, you should parry. Thank you, Misha Fish. You're right, I should parry. There's been a couple of the guys in the Prywin Guard that have these sweet pistols, and I'm wondering, like, if the Guard of Prywin has that kind of firepower, why aren't they donating that to the war, right? Like, we got, how many posters have we read around this city that are talking about you got to do everything you can for the war, and these a-holes are sitting on primo firepower. We did check his pockets. He had a good handle on him.
There's an open window on the second floor. I should be able to get in through that.
Oh, you know what's funny is we were here before. We came here when I was wandering aimlessly one time, and I was so irritated because I found that spot to jump up and found this window and was like, well, then what the hell's the point?
I cannot enter.
Okay, apparently that's still, I can't find the point. Is that open window? Is there another spot here I'm not seeing? Here we go. So wait, you're telling me you saw it from down there, you saw that this window was a window we could get through? Jonathan, you're unbelievable. Thwarted, unthwarted, de-thwarted. I just played a reverse card on the thwarting. Ooh, we start right off with a letter. Oh God, it's a suicide note. So this is already going great. I can't stand the pain anymore. It's like my entire body is breaking apart since that bitch infected me. For days now, she keeps hiding in her room, giving orders through little written notes and only rehearsing at night. I witnessed one of her so-called rehearsals. She walks on stage, angry and hateful, spitting and whining about her fading beauty. The bitch is infected, rotten to the core, and she plans to infect everyone in this place, and then everyone in London. Her next play is not before December, and at this time, all the theater's employees will be her obedient minions, forced to serve her evil machinations. I'm sure she's found a way to corrupt our food or the water, since we all started to get ill and change after the meal she arranged for us last Monday. I want whoever finds this note to know that I only killed myself to escape the living hell that this place has become. May God have mercy on me and my immortal soul, since I refuse to be an accomplice to this devilry. Woo. All right. So it would appear our initial instincts about this theater have proven true. Something.
Woe to you, nations of hypocrites. For in front of you stands the tall queen. You can but lower your head, fit only to smirk at her soiled feet.
I was gonna say, she said, here stands tall queen, and I'm like, trying to get a look at her. She ain't that tall.
Can that be Doris Fletcher's voice? Where does it come from?
Where does it come from, and where does it go? Doris Fletcher is Cotton Eye Joe. Oh, so it's not just Doris we're gonna find here. Let's take a quick look at some artwork. All right. All right, come on. Oh God, the poison ones. I think those are the only type we're really encountering in Whitechapel, or in the West End. I should take another look. I wonder if every neighborhood has had kind of a unique skull, and I'm just a dummy and haven't put that together yet. Is this where she is? Yeah, okay. So this absolutely has the look of like boss fight.
Woe to you, nations of hypocrites. For in front of you stands the tall queen.
So this is her sweet ass theater? What has happened here?
Fit only to smirk at her soiled feet.
This doesn't just look like damaged or looted, right? Like this doesn't have the look of a resplendent theater. It's nicer than your theater. That's fair. You're right. Who am I to cast stones at a woman's theater when I, simple Dr. Jonathan Reid, am theaterless? Ooh, we got more stuff to read. Oh, and to steal. All right, here we go. You know, this is like the second or third spot we've seen playing cards, and I appreciate the fact that they tried to model them in such a way as to look legit. A sturdy blood sample, always good to see. Old Doris Fletcher's diary. London, 17th August 1918. I saw her in the flesh, the witch from my childhood nightmares, the bitch that tortured me for years. I saw her and I shivered. Her voice, her face. I knew she was in that hospital. I knew she was sick and I wanted to witness her suffering. I may have reinvented myself, become a famous actress, erased those wicked years from my memory. I can't forget I'm her daughter. When I saw her frail body in that small bed, suffering, sick, defeated, I had to hide my tears, for she was looking at me. She recognized me. She saw the hate in my eyes, and she smiled. My pale corpse of a mother, and the worst thing was I felt no satisfaction seeing her in so much pain. The worst was not to suddenly remember the beatings and the abuses, no. The worst was to recognize the hate I felt in my heart when she looked at me. For it was the same hate I saw in hers. For in the end, I can't escape being her daughter. We are the same, my mother and I. Oof. Doris is going through some shit. Oh, so here's the classic boss drop down. But haha, in Vampyr, don't matter. Take that, Borderlands. I'm ready. See, I have a stage. It's just as nice as hers. I am Jonathan Reid, accomplished thespian. All right. Doubtful, Doris. I do not think they will adore you again. I guess I'm just trying to figure out from a timeline perspective, like, this theater looks like it's seen years of neglect. Not like, oh, something happened to Doris and now shit's weird at the theater. Like, this place looks... Sorry, sir. This place looks like it is completely
I can't believe I'm
decrepit.
doing this.
All right. I think we can sneak down over there.
It's locked.
Of course it's locked. It's a door. Unknown voice. Is there someone else here? Or is that just... that's what it's saying is the person talking. I understand. I'm just assuming it's Doris.
Who are you? You who dared enter my realm. Are you here to worship or mock me?
I'm here to put an end to the vampire epidemic, Miss Fletcher.
Ah. But Doris Fletcher is no more. She was consumed by this putrid flesh.
It's a
that now
large,
enshrouds
shrouded
Feel
hump on your
anger
shoulder,
for what
ma'am.
happened to you. But I can help you. I'm a doctor, Miss Fletcher.
Doris Fletcher is no more. All that remains are the dreams of the queen she was, and the queen she'll be. Until then, all shall die, for that
Whoa!
was her final wish.
Whoa, you got a scimitar?
Arise and
Listen,
save
the
your
choreography
queen,
for this
my
play has been
slave.
fantastic.
Ha! On guard.
Yo, she is legit pretty tall. Oh, right? You got minions? Get out of here. Oh, she smells my fear. She's a Diablo 3 barbarian. Oh, it's gonna be the ones that blow up. That's the worst. Okay. All right. Hit her with a parry. Get in a heal.
Come to me. Behold, Kinslayer, the disgrace of she
Oh no!
Will she be the queen again?
I don't want those. Oh, that sapped my stamina. The worst. Whoa! Why? There's too many people on this stage. We are definitely over the legal limit for weight on this stage. It is not rated for this kind of a load. I don't like that. Please don't do that. I'll stop calling you Doris. I'm sorry. God, don't.
Blood will be mine.
She's a fucking Bloodborne boss. Some straight up Resident Evil shit. You're absolutely. She's Nemesis. Doris Fletcher is no more. There is only Nemesis. If the end of this fight, she takes off that that face wrap and it's Albert Wesker, we're gonna have some issues. There's gonna be some words said.
Woe unto thee, son of Babylon. Touche, sir.
At least she's polite. Like, there's a nice gentlemanly, like, appropriate duel. Arachnus has dubbed the ads in this fight the chorus, and I'm mad that it is both thematically appropriate and means that our badass vampire is gonna get his ass beat by some chorus boys.
Behold, Kinslayer, the disgrace of she.
Why did I stand there when I knew what was happening? It's the same thing we saw earlier. I'm dead? My god, that does so much damage. She's just gonna murmur stars as she dies. Please no. I'll be so mad. Oh, stop. Stop, you poisonous bitch. You're the worst. No one likes you, Doris. Your plays are awful. Woof. We got the pistol. It was a Capcom Don't Nod collab all along. Don't give them any ideas, because they'll do it. So this fight is very fast and in a fairly confined space. I have not seen how much damage we're getting in on her. We know we go downstairs to trigger the fight. I'm just jealous of her theater. This is payback. She heard me up in the gallery.
Despicable.
The loge? Would that little balcony have qualified as a loge? Is her theater nice enough to have a loge? We might be able to unlock the front door, which would at least put us in a situation where if I need to escape to a sleeping area like a coward, we might be able to do so without having to fight our way back through everything. Get out of here. All right. Oh, I tried to get a parry in and it just meant that I wound up getting poisoned. The literal worst. No, don't die. I'll be so irritated. Okay. Oh my god, I died anyway. I forgot they blow up. All right. I have not enjoyed my evening at the theater. Jonathan Reid has long maintained that the only arts he supports are a little bit more classical in nature, painting, poetry. Let's try the front lobby again. It's not a great sign for the upcoming boss fight when I'm struggling with the lobby.
Blood.
But let's do something about it. First, I gotta remember I got this. I gotta not get stuck on geometry. Oh, you thought you had me on that one, huh? What up? And I remember that you were gonna blow up. Bad Yelp review. Maybe I'll go find the gourmand in the West End. Said that he spent quite a long time as a food critic. Maybe I'll go see if he's got an inn with like an actual theater critic. Maybe we can just run this woman out of town. All right, so hopefully this is actually unlock the front door. I think we're gonna go and sleep. We got the well, but there's all those people in the West End that we don't know yet. I don't think it'll be that bad. Would consider going back. 3 stars. I died several times. However, the production quality was exemplary. So our nearest hideout is over around the corner to the left, or is there? No, because that's the one you can't get into unless you're going in from the other side. So I would actually have to go all the way up and over to the one. Ugh, that's the worst. All right. New plan. Let's try one more crack so that I can get a really good look at how much damage I'm getting in. Yeah, maybe that's the better vengeance. Maybe we just write a review that really downplays her performance, and maybe we can see about getting the support staff some awards. Like maybe we can get a Tony for costume design, but she gets snubbed. I'd be down with that. Ooh, we are gonna want this rat. It's shocking to me that there is a single rat. Like, look at this place. And I think we're out of serums.
Your blood will be mine. Your hand is shaking. Ha!
I don't love how much they just let her charge at me there when we enter the combat arena.
Touché, sir.
Her diction is wonderful. Ma'am, you have a fantastic orator's voice. We really desperately need some blood. 11? Is that what the number is? Okay. Yeah, that's not great. Did she just say you killed my father, prepare to die? We're actually doing a performance of The Princess Bride. It fills the whole stage? Oh my God. I'm like, yo, the arena's so tiny. We can actually come off the stage. I was making some assumptions about the size of this combat arena. Okay. Okay. She deserves to win for that reference. Okay. So, what have we learned? We're at a gross disadvantage. She is a fan of not only theater, but also some of the finest movies ever made. And I'm a dummy, and there's way more room in this fight. Oh, we spawn out here now, though. Boo. Will their aggro range reset by the time I get to her door? Yeah? Put your cudgel away, Reid. Yeah, okay. They're walking away. Let me go get my tasty rat. Behold is my keyword to get out. I think you are correct. As soon as I hear behold, I gotta just untarget and sprint opposite direction. Don't mind me. You guys go back to taking tickets and working concession.
For blood.
Okay, so she's gonna attack right away here. 66% health.
Will be mine.
Okay.
Touché. Ha. Ha.
Oof, I missed that parry pretty bad. Oh, in that one.
Ha. I smell your
wow.
fear.
I'm sure she can smell my fear because it is pungent. She is absolutely toasting me. Get another heal in. Yeah. All right. Throw one of these.
Come to me, my servants. Avenge me.
No, yeah, okay. That was weird. It like would not target him even though he was right in front of me.
Is shaking.
I've played this entire game keyboard and mouse, which I really regret during these multi-target fights, because the way targeting in this works when you're trying to switch between targets, it's not like tab toggle. It's literally like you gesture with your mouse. You do like a big sweeping flick with your mouse, and that makes you jump between targets. Okay. Unlike the Mary fight, where we were stuck because we couldn't sleep without having someone die. Remember when we went to go fight Mary, someone was in like a distress situation. We can afford to go and sleep. So that's what we're going to do. Clearly, I am under-leveled for this fight with Doris. So fastest one. This might have another way in and out. I don't think that one's only through that little cutaway. Let's go check. Because that's definitely going to be my fastest route if so. Serpentine. Serpentine. Yeah, I think we can get to it from up here. I just got to get enough of these guys to drop aggro and we should be good. Yes, we are going to do some leveling up. It is everyone's favorite time where we get to guess how long I have been neglecting my bed. All right, bud. That was a weird time for you to give up on that fight, son. Right as I square up, huh? Not the best tactically, the Guard of Prywin. All right, so we do want to save some experience, kind of have that cushion for a potential need to have our blood in a decision tree. So we're level 19 right now, 7,000 experience. What do we need more of? Well, more health, certainly. 1,000 to get more health. More stamina doesn't seem like it would hurt. Well, this isn't our place, Aracthus. I can still point out the decrepitude of her theater, because this is just some flat that we found in the middle of London. We're just bunking up here because, you know, sometimes vampire life's hard. What happens when we level up the blood barrier? So this one will absorb 1 hit. We just get an extra hit. That might be worth it. We don't really use this a ton, but if it's suddenly soaking up 2, I feel like that's a pretty big jump. Not even worried about those 2. We barely use those. This might be finally the time that it's worth me spending some money on bullet upgrades. And maybe we can just kind of rain hell on her with our gun. I don't think I really care about doing more damage with my bite. I think we've kind of reached a point with the bite that, you know, the damage it does isn't exactly going to be a game changer. The bonus heal for 1,000 also doesn't just doesn't really seem worth it. More blood and absorb more blood, however, these I think are definites. So let's go ahead, grab a little bit more blood pool, and I want to get more blood when I bite. Another 900 for another round of that. Maybe. We'll come back on that. 1,000 for more health. I will definitely do. 1,500 to go up in health again. Probably not. Grab more endurance. And then what is this one again? It was 1,300. So that drops us down to just about 2,000 experience. I'm comfortable with that. I feel like Blood Barrier pays dividends in this fight because of the weird situation we're in where we're kind of getting hit from 3 sides. Blood Barrier goes back down to 1 hit absorb, but when it dissipates, it explodes, or get more hits. Oh, so it's going to cap out. Okay, well, I'm looking ahead to stuff that I don't have the points to buy anyway. 2,000 left. Man, I really should have thought maybe about upgrading healing again. So we were getting bigger heals. No, I don't want to cancel. What was the guess in chat from Julie? 23? Only got to 21. Which again does not bode well for our level gap. Alright, so we took West End up to healthy by healing the one person here. Merchants have some more gear. We got Whitechapel is healthy. Looks like this is not sanitized simply because we don't know what's up with that other dude. This should go back to sanitized. And then this was already sanitized. All right. Let's mix up some serums. So I'm gonna just blow through materials if we're throwing down these serums every time we fight her. So we just gotta kind of be smart about, like, I shouldn't waste a serum if it's kind of a losing effort run, right? Like, we gotta really kind of jump out to a decent start. That's the wrong exit. You gotta jump out to a decent start to make it worth cashing in any of those. All right. Oh, that's right. There's the one right below there. I should maybe take a minute and fight these guys and see if I can go in with more blood. Come on. Come on. Oh, my God. All right. There we go. Thank you, sir. Yeah, see, that's a decent amount of blood from a single bite. Rather than potentially lose health and have to use up blood anyway. Where is it? No, I gotta go over here.
There's one of them. Watch yourselves.
Man, he went from sir to there's one of them awful quick. Kind of rude, bud. That guy recovered from his parry stagger about as fast as I have seen anyone in this game do. Alright. So, now when we die, we'll at least spawn in the theater. Okay, use the whole theater space. We can't afford the poison, so anything that dies, if she stops to start kind of like running her mouth, or if one of her ads gets killed in the fray, we gotta get away. We can't afford to just take damage because we stood in a blast.
This is despicable.
Blood shield on cooldown, I think, is a good usage of our blood. We can get our blood back, right? So the tricky thing here is she's not super hard to stagger in the saber phase, but when she starts going T-virus, she becomes a bit of a pain in the butt. Yeah, just get her. Just get her.
Behold, Kinslayer, the disgrace of sheep.
Oh my God, it's so much.
She be the queen again once they all share her fate.
Losing all the stamina when she does that really sucks.
My slaves. My blade.
Man.
Pierce your villain.
She makes it really hard. All right, let's use that bite immunity here.
Touché, sir.
Nice camera. Thanks. Appreciate it. Blood shield. How can you get a giant arm and a sword? Like, how rude is that?
Your hand is shaking. My children, my beloved, die for the love of me. Your blood will be mine.
Get some space back.
Summon thee, my children of the night.
I'm just jealous my arms are small and sad. She's rubbing it in too, though. She's like, your hand is shaking. And like, I've been polite enough not to be like, your hand is stuck inside a large external tumor. Like, just saying. She's kind of lacking a little bit in the courtesy department. All right, getting stuck with these ads. Can't afford it. We need to kill her.
Woe unto thee, son of Babylon.
All right. Our ultimate's popping in a second, so maybe we can get some damage out of that.
Hear and obey, for your
I think she's summoned another one.
attack.
She's got a nice projecting voice. She does. She really commands the space. I'm understanding now how she was able to kind of get these followers to come to her theater. Okay. Gotta get out of this mess. Oh, what is that? Why do you do that? What? That's a war crime. That's a war crime, Doris. That's ridiculous. Okay. Went way better. Other than the big scorpion get over here surprise, we were actually in a pretty good spot. The ads get tough. I can't let them stack up like they were there at the end, but I think that run in general went a lot better. It's for the dramatic flair. She saved it for the final act. You're right. It's a brilliant piece of storytelling. All right, so if we eat the rat, we do have time to eat it and then get back downstairs before they can catch me from the lobby. So we need to get a couple early parries real quick, get some blood, and then use that blood to run the tables. The first phase of this fight went really well this last attempt, so I just got to work that parry. She makes that big entry with the saber, and that shouldn't be that hard to punish. There we go. Get our blood. We might not even need that rat in the hallway, if I'm honest, because she doesn't really put up too much resistance in that first saber phase. Yeah.
Behold, Kinslayer, the disgrace of she whose beauty was once renowned.
Nice.
Will she be the queen again once they all share her
Got out without the damage from the beholds. No ads yet. Just punish it. There we go. There we go. Hit the ultimate while she's staggered. That might help clean up that ad. Not enough. Not enough. Bummer.
For your queen commands you. Attack!
I thought I killed him, but apparently not. Okay. 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 Oh, all right. Frustrating. Opening there was really solid. I think we had her down to like 30% health before she even got an ad out onto the board. So if I stay aggressive and can avoid the lost time when we're recovering from some of those poison blasts, I think we're actually in a decent spot. I think this fight is actually not as hard as I'm making it out to be, which might be the easiest summary of the entirety of Vampyr's combat system. Oh, I can't eat him. All right, well, I don't think we need it. I think if we just go in and start fighting, we'll be fine.
My blade shall pierce your villainous heart.
She lets me get blood pretty quick in this first phase. So I think we'll just rely on that rather than even worrying about getting that rat. And then once we're full here in this saber phase, oof, where's that stab from? You haven't used that before. What?
Hand is shaking.
She's just like, stop trying to embarrass me in front of all my friends. Every time I say something, she's trying to counteract me.
And save your queen,
Oh, she summoned before the behold this time. Whoa! What was that target? You can't hit through a curtain, so it's the strongest curtain in London. Cool.
Hear and obey, for your queen commands you. Attack!
She's right behind me.
Your hand is shaking.
Alright. Get rid of the ad. I didn't kill you? That's ridiculous. Alright. Alright. Just you and me.
I summon thee.
No, don't summon anyone. It was just you and me. We were talking. We had an accord, Doris.
On guard.
She's gonna hit me. Whoop.
I smell your fear. Your hand is shaking.
Let me get my blood
My
back.
children, my
Come here. So a much less.
blood will be mine.
Oh, there's the behold.
Will she be the queen again?
That was a much less rapid start to the fight. But we're kind of not the worse for wear. I gotta think about doing like, yeah, use some of my blood powers when I make an escape like that. Like, just drop one of those blood traps on my way out. Get my blood shield up.
My blood hear and obey.
Get out of here with the poison.
I summon thee, my children of the night. Fight, maim, spit, kill.
This ultimate might get me killed on the exit. Nope. All right, we seem to have gotten away with it. Get another heal in. What? Codswallop. Everyone stop vomiting. I'm not even working at the hospital tonight.
Children, my beloved, die for the love of me.
So I guess these are all like her acting students or just like fans and patrons. So she's just been turning all these people to like have an adoring like audience. Nope, 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 nope. Oh, I hope that serum didn't count as I was dying. The theater curtains are so heavy the bat can't get through it. Yeah, I could cop to that. All right. If we can get another start like we did 2 attempts ago, I actually feel pretty good about it. I gotta just like, I can't goof up in those first couple of saber exchanges. If I can punish all the way through that stage, have my blood meter filled, and basically just run the tables until the transformation, I think we're gonna be in okay shape.
Your blood will be mine.
All right.
Behold, Kinslayer, the disgrace of sheep.
Oh, I got tripped up on the curtain.
Will she be the queen
All right,
again once
that's
they
all right.
all share her fate? and obey, for your queen commands you.
Oh, she hit me on the backswing.
You
Doris.
killed my father.
All you do is make me angry, Doris. Oh, you know what we can do? All right, hold up. This run might be toast already, but yeah. So, a total epiphany moment. We get a little clogged up sometimes when the ads start pouring out and I'm struggling to get in and then still continue to do damage to her. We've got the alternate weapon set with the gun on it. I should just use that to try and blow through the ads. If I get in a situation like we've had a couple times where I've got like 2 swings on them, don't try and force it to commit the kill. Just back out. Whoever kills the invader gets an A in class. At least one of these skulls thinks this is just like a really intense, like immersion improv workshop.
You killed my father. Prepare to.
Hello, my name is Doris Fletcher. Okay. Let's get some damage off with the ultimate here first. That might delay. Yeah. Yeah.
Behold, Kinslayer, the disgrace of she whose beauty was once renowned. Will she be the queen again once they all share her fate? Hear and obey. Come to me, my servants. Avenge me.
All right. Back out. Get some health. Where's Doris? No, I want Doris.
My blade shall pierce your villainous heart.
The blade is gonna pierce my villainous heart. All right, dodge and move, dodge and move. I need to get in tight on her, and I might just dive her here. Oh god, that guy snuck me in the face. Oh, we got the wrong weapon. Disengage, disengage. Gonna get another heal in here before this blood disappears. Oh, Doris. Trying to make it easy on me, honey, and I appreciate it.
Touche, sir.
No, the auto-targeting. All right. Don't force it. Don't force it. Throw an ulti. This might clear up at least one of them. Yeah, the one in back on the stage, it looks like just got toasted. Oh, shit.
Rise and save your queen, my slaves.
There we go. Oh, God. Doris.
Wait. I beg you, wait.
I didn't realize it was connected to her face.
I don't want to die.
And I did not come to kill you, Miss Fletcher.
Will you spare me then? Save this cadaverous carcass of mine.
Oof. You
Does
ain't
your
looking great.
heart beat a little faster now? You fancy me then, Doctor?
No, Miss Fletcher. My dead heart will beat for only one.
Ah! Is she pretty? Is she sweet and tender?
To me, yes.
For our last 2 conversations,
I
yes.
hate her already.
I know. And this is partly why you must be destroyed.
But you just said.
That I did not come here to kill you, yes. But I realize now the threat you embody must be stopped.
Oh, dramatically toss down the lantern and immolate yourself.
Will I be remembered?
Nemesis would do it.
Will you?
You were Doris Fletcher, the greatest actress of her generation. No one can take that from you.
Jonathan, like, addressing an invisible crowd there. That was kind of weird.
And farewell.
Oh, she is gonna... Yes! Doris, you legend.
Farewell, Doris.
Yo, Doris. All right, I'm changing the Yelp review. Doris gets great.
So dramatic. I love it.
McCullum.
Oh, the vampire
How
hunter.
strange I seem to find you whenever I'm inquiring about that skull infestation.
I mean you no harm.
I'm not here for you. But once I put all the pieces of the puzzle together, I'm sure we'll have a little chat.
Are you gonna immediately have me fight these
Stay away
assholes?
from me, McCullum. You and all your war dogs.
That I can't guarantee, Dr. Reid. But I'll let you go. For now.
I should probably leave the theater right now.
I think that's probably wise, Jonathan. Ooh, a remarkable saber. Very nice. So we get her sword. And we have enough to upgrade it. So I don't know. I don't think we're actually spend the mats to upgrade it. We can throw... Ooh, absorb blood when the weapon hits. That's interesting. All right. At the very least, we can put that in as our weapon in our little one-hander there. And the shotgun, I think we're gonna ditch back for the pistol. Because the output's a little bit more reliable at range, which is when we tend to be using it anyway.
Cannot enter.
If I'm gonna get close enough to use the shotgun.
But London is not. It would be wise to benefit from the Ascalon's protection while I continue my research during the Great Hunt.
What I was gonna say is we will grab that, don't worry. The shotgun, if I'm gonna get close enough to use the shotgun, I'm probably in a position to just use my cudgel, and that does way more damage anyway. Okay, so that was the old Doris Fletcher's diary that we read before. This is the new Doris Fletcher's diary, so I'm assuming this is after she's transformed. London, 24th October, 1918. Soon, I'll be on the stage again, for my rehearsals are almost over. My minions are gathered around me, ready to follow my every command. Soon, my audience will return, ready to applaud my art. The young, the gorgeous, my healthy audience. They'll return to their families, their beautiful houses and happy lives, delighted by my performance, shocked by my disguise, touched by my grace, my infectious legacy. They'll spread the disease one by one, and they'll turn, and I'll be their beloved queen again, and they'll never forget me. And I shall have my revenge on the dirty trick fate played on me. Man, Doris. Really playing with my emotions for this Yelp review, because that's not doing you any favors. Taking vengeance because you got sick is a little rude. So out of the theater, decent little battle there. I think the first couple times, I think we could have made way more progress if I had thought even for 1 second we could leave the stage.
People want me dead. I need to leave now.
So I'm not going to necessarily beat myself up too much over how long that took us. I think some of it was just me forcing things to be more difficult than they were.
So Doris just needed to be close to her
Chapter
audience
5.
Contagion through skin. Very disturbing.
Unnatural selection. Support the Ascalon Club against the Guard of Prywin. So I guess let's go maybe chat with the Ascalon Club, yeah? See I mean, my kind of first order of business from them was to investigate the skull outbreak in the West End, and it would appear we've solved it, right? Like, we know that all the skull coming around in the West End were because of Doris. So maybe we can go have Daddy Warbucks tell us we did a good job. God, that skull up there. Yeah, we gotta go report to Lord Redgrave. So the Ascalon Club, I think we can get through this gate now. Maybe there'll be more people kind of out and about in the West End now that we've advanced the story. We got to be careful about levels because we've kind of established that those levels go up as we advance story events. Yeah, like here, these guys had no prayer while this dude was in the street. When we have other econs to fight, they tend to be pretty hard fights. I'm hopeful that we don't eventually yield a scenario where, like, every common enemy is something akin to that. All right. Go chat with Lord Redgrave. If you were the guy who ran a social club for the closeted vampires of London's elite, do you really think you'd go by Redgrave? Oh, we gotta find Emily for Charlotte as well. All right. Really? You guys haven't cleaned anything up in here? Not a great look, y'all. We got Arthur here. I think we can probably talk to him now. Yeah, this is the guy that, like, invited us in.
Always a pleasure to see you, sir.
Nope, you're not anyone special. I'll just take my shillings and leave then. Man, you got no plans to clean up the foyer? Oh, wait. What's Lady Ashbury doing here? I thought you avoided the Ascalon Club. And who are you? Lord Hutchinson? Let's check in with Hutchinson first here.
I must admit the Guard of Priwen impressed me. They must have spent years preparing their plan.
Elizabeth,
what are you doing here?
I've been formally asked to witness your triumph, my dear. After all, isn't it the natural role of a woman to support her man in victory?
But it's you who insisted I join.
You can hear her sarcasm.
Please forgive my giddiness. I'm just overcome by the thrill of finally being allowed within these hallowed halls.
You certainly have an inquisitive mind. It's quite something. Elizabeth Ashbury, only you can make me smile in these difficult times.
And the same to you, Jonathan Reid. Now go have your little chat with the chairman. I can see he's practically bursting to hear your report.
I think we're safe for now. I pursued and killed the last hunter with my own hands as he tried to escape the club.
This is like what ponces these guys are, like,
of some
chatting socially.
Revealing himself and singing obscure songs around the city. What is this new malevolence?
Horned vampire sounds like our sire. I do like, though, like, how ridiculous these assholes all sound. They're like, oh yes, I beat him to death. Clubbed him with my own hands, I did.
Welcome back to the Ascalon Club, Lance-Bearer. Please, tell us the good news. Have you put an end to the epidemic?
My hypothesis was correct. Doris Fletcher was the source of the contagion in this part of town. She was probably the first to be infected.
And you cleansed her before the hunters, I've been told. Well done, Dr. Reid. You thrust your lance and pierced the very heart of the corruption.
Lord Redgrave, you're getting kind of sexual, my dude.
But some questions remain.
The important thing is, we won a major battle for the survival of London. For that we salute you.
Thank you, my lord.
Now, I have another task for you. One of the utmost importance. Perhaps even more so than the previous.
I'm listening.
Of course.
It's time for you to perform a most sacred duty for the club. I want you to recruit a new vampire.
Recruit a new vampire? Are you sending me on some sort of diplomatic mission?
Not exactly. I want you to make Aloysius Dawson the echo he deserves to be.
I'm not sure I'm the best candidate for such a task.
I can hear the hesitation in your voice, Dr. Reid. I admire a man of principles. But in this matter, there is more at stake than your moral comfort.
It's not a moral question, Lord Redgrave. It's the responsibility of giving immortality to a man I barely know.
Nonsense. Aloysius has been a member of the Ascalon for years. This is but the fruition of a long-held plan.
How would you like me to proceed?
Aloysius is waiting for you at the Dawson estate. Once the deed is done, I'll join you there to celebrate this momentous occasion.
Wants you to share Give Your Power afterlife. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that this his kind of like discovery of what kind of vampire stock we come from seems to maybe be driving a little bit of this.
Before I go, I have a few questions.
All right, I'm listening.
Why Aloysius Dawson?
Because he is about to die. And he just may be the most influential man in England. After me, of course.
Yes, after me.
Did he choose me?
No, I did. My decision is very recent, to say the least, but it is entirely mine.
Does he know I'm coming?
He can't wait to become your progeny, Dr. Reid. Especially now that you have shown how strong your lineage is through your sister.
Yep, see, look. There's essentially confirmation of your hypothesis.
How would you like me to proceed?
Don't worry. Aloysius has had many years to prepare himself. He has studied our kind for decades.
So shall I just let him drink my blood?
Yes. Aloysius will gratefully sup on your blood. His heart will slow, then stop. But he will rise again as one of us, an immortal.
Man, Lord Redgrave trying to make everything sensual.
Is there any danger?
Oh.
Is there any danger?
Our blood alters a mortal body so deeply that some don't survive the metamorphosis. They die for good. But Mr. Dawson has been preparing himself for a long time.
You invited Lady Ashbury. Wouldn't that be breaking one of your cardinal rules? No women allowed.
Not allowed as members, no. But considering the circumstances, I thought you'd like to have her here to witness your triumph.
So it's a temporary admittance, then?
Something of a bargain, considering the crisis we're currently facing.
Man.
Goodbye, Lord
I do
Redgrave.
not like Lord Redgrave. Alright, so...
Good evening, Dr. Reid.
We are
Have a
now
drink and enjoy this night, for it could be our last.
recruited to raise Aloysius Dawson
right,
to
Lord Redgrave has just
vampiric
ordered me to turn Aloysius
status.
Dawson, to make him my progeny.
I see. And how do you feel about this?
I mean, I don't really know.
I'd like your advice on the matter.
The real question here is, why has his lordship given you this task?
Do you think it's some sort of trap?
Do you really want to know what I think about this?
I do, yes.
Of course.
To make an immortal of a soulless blackguard like Aloysius Dawson will only lead to a disaster for London. The man is already
This is the guy who wants to build a wall to keep the pores out.
Perhaps politely suggest that Lord Redgrave turn the man into a vampire himself.
Don't you dare, my dear. According to what I've recently discovered, his lordship could kill you for even broaching the subject.
Really?
What's that?
Why?
I've recently found proof that the Earl of Bristol is of lesser lineage and only capable of creating skulls.
Oh, shit.
Please tell me more about your recent investigation.
As long as you lower your voice.
This is the very first time anyone has acknowledged that we're having all these very intimate conversations right out in the open all the time.
Are you sure your information about Redgrave is correct? He says he's the progeny of the great knight William Marshall, who lived some 9 centuries ago.
That's a lie. Lord Redgrave is unable to create anything but skulls, if the poor souls survive at all.
How can you be sure the information was correct?
I made the acquaintance of a most interesting informer while investigating your maker, from whom I learned the truth about Lord Redgrave.
Why so vindictive? You suddenly sound like you're angry.
Forgive me, Jonathan. I hate myself for it, but I feel such pride in my discovery. I'm afraid I just can't help it.
Which is?
He did serve William Marshall. And yes, the blood he covets as a token does truly belong to that legendary knight. But he was never his progeny. His lineage is not so noble.
No, you revel in this, Elizabeth. Absolutely enjoy yourself.
What would you have me do about Dawson?
The man is dangerous. Did you know he plans to build a wall to separate the healthy rich from the sickly poor? Do not make him your progeny.
What would you do?
The man's dying already. Let the reaper harvest the rotten fruit that is his soul.
What would happen if I made Dawson an Ekon like myself?
You would add a powerful immortal into a suffering world. An immortal who already craves authority.
Maybe I could teach him control, like you taught me. Lead him down the right path.
Mr. Dawson spent his life searching for a way to cheat death. I'm sure he has spent decades dreaming of how he'd spend eternity as a tyrant.
Goodbye for now, Elizabeth.
Goodbye, my dear. Please, be careful.
Pandemics and wall building hits too close to home, Aractus. We had been joking about the pandemic similarities and all the messages about wearing your mask for quite some time. If you go check out any of the VODs on YouTube, we definitely, like when we met Aloysius and he was like, yes, I'm just going to build a wall and keep out all the filthies. It was a similarly jaw-drop moment where we were all like, what? All right. So it sounds like we're going to have kind of dueling interests here over the Aloysius matter. We can turn him and side with Redgrave, but it sounds like Elizabeth does not want us to turn him, which, I mean, let's be honest, I see zero reason to side with Redgrave over Elizabeth on this.
It looks like vampires have to obey Mendel's laws when producing progeny. Powers pass from one generation to another. That's why Dawson wants me to sire him.
I love that even now Reid is taking like the rules of vampirism and trying to make it into something that is scientific in nature. Automod Gamish. Very much a hose before bros scenario in this case. I am definitely not ready to classify Redgrave as a bro either. Where are we at for... So in Whitechapel, we've got the one dude where we don't know where he is. And we got a handful of people here in the West End that we don't know where they are. 2 hints. So I think we're going to look around in the West End here for a bit, because if we can unlock these, that would be the ideal scenario where we want to make sure that we can get our hands on the hints before we talk to Aloysius, so that we don't have another situation like we did with Dorothea. This is the guy we saved from the shop.
We meet again, Mr. Kimura, in a more peaceful situation.
Dr. Reid,
Still visiting London by night?
We must both be nocturnal animals, you and I. After your captivity, I thought you'd be more cautious.
Breathing the cold night air helps calm my mind, sir. I've had the most frightening nightmares since I escaped that filthy jail.
Do you need medical assistance, sir?
You've already helped me enough, Dr. Reid.
Do you know anything about a man called Aloysius Dawson, by any chance?
Well, I've never met the man personally, but I invested money in some of his companies when I came to London. A brilliant businessman.
May I ask you what you do for a living, Mr. Kimura?
I was a landlord. A wealthy one. And not a very kind one, I realized recently.
Why this sudden epiphany? Is it because of your near-death experience?
I was already feeling nostalgic about Weymouth, my hometown. With recent events, I'm thinking about going back there.
How is the situation in the West End?
I've heard rumors about armed men patrolling and fighting infected citizens in these very streets. I was lucky they didn't shoot me when I was abducted.
What can you tell me about your abduction?
If you really want to know, I was locked in that building for 3 or 4 days. My jailer was insane, mumbling about sacrifice and voices.
So, this is the guy, if you remember, he was locked in the house, kind of tucked up next against a market. And when we first found out that econs were kind of emerging as an enemy we could maybe face just out in the street, we fought an econ that had kind of barricaded him in there. He says he was in there for a couple of days. Why was he stuck in there during the day? Like, how did the econ keep him trapped in there during the day if he couldn't be outside in the sunshine?
And why didn't he sacrifice you?
That was the weirdest part. He claimed to spill blood was not enough. It had to be done when some stars were aligned.
Which stars?
That's the whole point. He wanted me to talk to him about some Red Queen configuration or constellation. I've never heard of such an astronomical term.
What did he say about voices?
He constantly whined about the voice of his master, ordering him to do terrible things. He wanted to silence the voice by offering blood. My blood.
Why are you so nostalgic for your hometown, Tadao?
I was focused so much on making money, I almost forgot that my relatives and friends are threatened by this epidemic.
Have you heard anything from your family?
I was not only a bad landlord, I was also a bad husband. I've not seen my wife and son for years. Busy, busy, busy.
At least now you're ready to go back and see them. But don't be surprised if your son bears a grudge, sir.
You make it sound like you suffered from an absent father yourself, Dr. Reid. Well, I'll keep your warning in mind.
Have you no friends at all?
Over the years, I'm afraid my greed turned me into my friend's adversary, while I became friends with my professional rivals.
Those you grew up with didn't share your views on money and success.
Would you believe I was once a member of poetry circles and an astronomy club? We were young, such joyful dreamers then, that I stopped laughing long ago.
Man, this guy's sad all the time, huh?
Can you change? And is it what you really want? If so, it must come from within, not without.
I've seen what an altruistic gesture can do. Nothing forced you to save me, Dr. Reid, but you did. I will follow your example in these matters from now on.
Good friends with the dude's son from Whitechapel? You're right. Let's see.
There is no need to thank me. Rescuing a London citizen should not be out of the ordinary, though I'm afraid it may appear so in these difficult times.
You did not only rescue me, you fought for me. You put your life in danger to save me. That's quite extraordinary.
How will you cope if you're attacked again?
I don't know. I've heard about these men and women who patrol the West End every night, chasing criminals like my abductor. Maybe I should join them.
He's gonna join the Guard of Pruin? I don't know if you're really the dude for that.
Tell me, Tadao, why was your abductor so interested in your passion for astronomy?
I dunno. We met a few times at the Royal Greenwich Observatory. He seemed to share my hobby. Then he invited me to his house and locked me in.
Yes, astronomy is a fascinating subject. When I was a child, my mother bought a small telescope for my sister and I. We spent many a pleasant evening stargazing.
Stars are not just dots in the sky, Doctor. They are the key to our understanding of the cosmos. They remind us how insignificant we are.
You're right. But children love magic and stories. I remember our mother told us constellations have the power to protect us.
Protection by the light of the stars. That's sweet. You remember the name of these constellations?
Pegasus. It was the constellation my mother liked the most.
Memory's a strange thing. I can recite without hesitation the names of the 88 constellations. Yet I barely remember my own childhood.
This dude is so weird.
Did he fake his interest in astronomy to get close to you?
No. In his madness, he spoke about a blood sacrifice to be made to his master when the stars aligned to a specific configuration.
Thanks, John. I appreciate it.
Goodbye, Mr. Kimura.
All right, so we saved Mr. Kimura, and now he just sits and reads books and waxes poetic and sad about how much he misses being a child and loving stars, I guess. Why does Edgar have new dialogue again every 3 minutes? I'm going to take a quick break. You did not get a reminder from me about your water because I did it so early in the stream tonight. So while I'm taking my break, if you've got an empty water cup, go fill up your water. I'll be right back in just a second. We'll wander around the West End and see if we can't find some more people to be sad about astronomy. I'll be right back. All right. So we want to chit chat with some folks and see if we can't uncover these extra clues about Aloysius. So let's walk around the West End with some vamp vision for a minute or two here. I don't think Charlotte's got anything to say.
Good evening, Miss Ashbury.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reid.
What do you know about Aloysius Dawson?
That man is a tyrant, the embodiment of greed and selfishness. All I despise about this country.
Preach. Preach,
Goodbye,
Charlotte.
Charlotte. Give my best regards to your mother when you see her.
She's been quite busy these last few nights. I suspect you may see her before me.
Considering I've already seen her twice tonight, I would agree with you. Calhoun may have spoken with him.
Good evening, Dr. Reid. A great night, what?
A great night, what?
Do you know anything about a man called Aloysius Dawson?
He used to be a big spender. One day, he sent 3 houseboys to buy all the beluga in my shop for his brother's birthday, if I remember correctly.
I see. Anything else? Less gastronomic, perhaps?
I really can't say. The man is filthy rich. But you know that, of course.
Goodbye, Mr. Russell. I'm sure you'll take care of yourself.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
There's gotta be, like, we ran into this in,
Are you all right?
Whitechapel's got a little bit of this, and the Docks has this, where there's more than one social hub in the zone.
What can you tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
Well, I've discovered he's quite versed in occult knowledge. So I wrote him a letter asking him to finance my research about vampires. He never responded.
Okay, nothing new
You
with
need
him.
some rest, Clarence. You should try to sleep.
So I think we might want to just break out and kind of poke around the West End. Reach the Temple Church entrance is what they want me to do next. Oh, interesting. So they're not sending me directly to go talk to Aloysius. Let me go and scope out wherever it's sending us right now for the story and kind of see where that's taken us, what direction it's taken us in. Because I get the feeling that there are a lot more people in the West End that I literally just can't talk with yet. Warning, where your face? Oh no, that was a quarantine sign. Oh no, we gotta go through this little park here, is that it? Oh wait. The loot body here. Just help myself. It's a nice little park. You can tell you're in the nice spot in town. Alright, so we want to jump out on the flip side of the park and then go up towards the... Oh, man. Yeah, so this is clearly where we're supposed to be, because these guys are now the level of the boss we just fought. Oh, are you kidding me? I was 3/4 of the way through my swing. She's gonna blow up when she dies, don't forget. My word. How many of you are there? Oh, they just straight up killed me. Wowzer. Okay. That's fine. We'll get up to the story beat here. See if we can't advance that, and hopefully, if my intuition is correct, that'll give us some more social contacts here in the West End. And then, like I say, I'd like to try and stir up those clues for Aloysius. But I do want to try and keep the stream at about 3 hours, so I'm not gonna belabor the point. If I don't find him, maybe we'll just advance and go talk to Aloysius regardless. But we'll see. Yeah, okay, so these guys are not as brutal.
Stay
Away!
No, I don't want to. Shut up. You're not the boss of me. Oh god. Guy just came. He became the boss of me. That guy much less so. Alright. Temple covered market. My assumption is that this is like a well-known thing in London, much like the West End, and I just don't know enough about London. Alright.
Kill it or you deserve.
Guy's such a jerk. Alright. God, oh man. A really nice building for me to just be bludgeoning people to death in the lobby. I feel a little rude. Bloody handprints. Oh god, what happened in there? Good gravy. Rogue skull in there. Can we go in?
It's locked.
No, we're gonna have to loop around for that one. Temple Garden. Okay. Is this like a combat arena we got over here? What's this? Influenza, frequently complicated with pneumonia. To prevent any case of the Spanish flu, stay indoors.
Right.
So wait, this is locked. Oh, did I have to go through
Find
the other way?
another way to get into the neighborhood.
Ugh. You're the worst. Okay, at least they let me cut in from over here, so it wasn't a complete waste. So we're gonna have to go up and around to get there, because we gotta go past the quarantine stockade. So this is where we were a minute ago when we died. Oh, did I just barely not kill this guy up front? Bummer. Okay. Whoa, whoa. She's gonna blow up, so you gotta be careful of her. Okay, get out, get out, get out. I wish it did damage to the other guys. That would make it a lot easier on me. Okay. So, where am I trying to get to? Where did it snake me through here? Just literally the flip side? No, this is the same spot. I just doubled back like an idiot. Okay. We gotta go further. We gotta go further west to loop up and around? Is that the issue? Oh yeah, because they chased me back down those stairs. Okay. So is there, am I looking for like an actual gate, or is this like a hole in the wall scenario?
I think this passage could lead me close to Aloysius Dawson's mansion.
Oh, so it is sending me to Aloysius's mansion. Now wait a minute. You told me to go yell at some people in the temple market. And now you're telling me to go to Aloysius's mansion. So which is it?
You cannot win.
My man said you cannot win, and then I just goofed him. Come on. Oh god, you've got that stupid shadow clone bullshit. Naruto ninjutsu. Ugh. I probably could have killed him there, but I really wanted the blood so we could get another heal in. Alright, it wound up working out. So where... So this will take me towards Aloysius's mansion. But I don't want to see Aloysius until we've got clues. So this was all for naught, sadly. God, I wish this was like, you know, I have this same problem. If you ever played Stardew Valley, one of my chief complaints about Stardew Valley is sometimes you just have no fucking idea where someone is and you're trying to find them. That's how I feel playing this game a lot. It's just
there has
like...
been a fight here. I can see a blood trail. Left by one of the antagonists, perhaps?
Well, they also left behind all this good equipment. This another hideout.
What a mess. Something terrible happened here. But what?
Another ring we can sell. Oh, I had meant to go and upgrade the saber. Thick, sturdy blood sample. So this gives us our ultimate health regenerative. And that we've got a lot more of the materials for. So that I'm not as upset about potentially... spending some coin on. I think we are going to upgrade the perfect saber. Stamina or damage. Stamina and blood. I think we're going to turn this into just a blood driver. So I'd rather have the stamina be lower. This gives us 7.5 points of blood every time we attack, which doesn't seem horrible. Some shillings. You originally liked the club because of the stun, but now you killed before the stun, maybe a change is needed. Yeah, that's kind of the thought process, is that I'm not getting the stun out as much, so maybe the versatility of a different weapon that's still getting me blood, right? Because, like, why do I want the stun? I want the stun because I want blood. So if the blood doesn't matter because I'm getting it through a different means, then the stun isn't as critical. Oh, so that investigation we just popped, it would appear, is yielding for us a citizen in distress. And a chance to try our new weapons, apparently. Man, that attack. One day. At least they lined up for me. So let's use some blood here. Top off. And then I want to see what our blood generation with this saber actually equates to in a combat scenario, right? Because, like, obviously, damage-wise, that was nowhere close to the output that we normally get with our cudgel. But if we get really solid blood regen, then maybe it becomes worth it. I almost feel like it's the difference between kind of a warrior build and a mage build, right? Like, if we just didn't really care about the damage from our weapon because we were more interested in getting blood so that we could use our vampire powers, well, then it doesn't matter, right? Then the saber's the better choice anyway. But we've kind of built our character out in such a way that that cudgel is really where we're getting most of our damage output. So I'm hesitant to give it up regardless of how good the saber is for blood. All right. Oh, we can go up here. That's what I didn't notice when we were here previous. So,
stay back, sir.
Ooh, a good double barrel shotgun.
Step away now. Get
Don't tell me what to do. Yeah, so that's, I mean, one combo is about as much blood as we would get with a bite. And it's pretty fast. So, I mean, I don't hate it. I'm willing to run with it for a little bit. But again, I think the damage from our cudgel is pretty good. So we saw all kinds of bloody handprints and stuff downstairs. What is it we're supposed to be looking for here? Well, we can unlock this. Is this just an excuse to get you to look around? Oh man, poor Jonathan. Look at all this wonderful looking food and he's not even hungry for it. Well, I guess we just follow this blood trail here. Man alive. This is unpleasant. What are y'all doing over here? Rude. Yeah, I mean, if for nothing more than having heal, always have enough.
More Braille.
Oh.
I should bring this to Mason Swanborough.
Oh no. That means that the Braille can be all over the freaking city. I didn't want that. I wanted it to all be near his house in Whitechapel. It's a big bummer. All right, so let's... Oh, we got another restaurant. The Blind Gourmets.
A restaurant where the guests are blindfolded before being seated. Intriguing.
Ah, all right, so we have found the intriguing restaurant with which to tempt our gourmet friend. Where is this? Find Louise Teasdale. She's just in the middle of what is otherwise an impenetrable block. I don't... Is there another door here that we perhaps did not explore? No. That's curious. That's the dress shop where we went downstairs. Huh. Well, unless I've missed something, maybe that's like a go up and around kind of a scenario. Yeah, this is not the side of the Temple Gardens we came in, right? But this leads us to that quarantine blockade.
It's locked.
That we can't get through. Man, that's so frustrating. Can we get there from Whitechapel? Let's loop around. We're kind of coming up against 3 hours anyway here. I think we're going to backtrack into Whitechapel to see if I am able to kind of swing around into that other area. Because I'm really hesitant to progress all the way to Aloysius's mansion. That's a dead end. Oh, that's foolhardy. Because he's... Remember, he's a pillar of the community. He's the pillar of the West End, not Redgrave. It's Aloysius. So, much like when we first wound up meeting... Whoa, this guy's like right on my face. How many of you are there? Leave me alone. Much like when we first met Dorothea over in Whitechapel, I'm assuming we're going to have some decisions to make. Yeah, so this opened into Whitechapel. So I want his clues. He's only got the 2 clues. So ideally, we can stir him up.
As long as you have the money.
Swing around here. So we want to get to like the northwest of Whitechapel. And see if this finally is open enough for us to get through. You know, they have that system in place for when you sleep. There's like events that happen around the city. Seems like kind of a wasted opportunity to not also use that same system when you advance story elements to be like, you know, rioters tear down the blockade between Whitechapel and the West End, just to kind of like give me an indication that I can now traverse that area. I guess I just don't really... There doesn't seem to be a ton of rhyme and reason of how I get some of this information as opposed to how I just, like, guess about it. Yeah, so this is still locked.
It's locked, all right.
Man, that's irritating. What about this gate? Especially since Jonathan can just freaking teleport. So I have no idea how to get to this person. It looks like... Oh, well, Dawson's Mansion's this whole thing. Oh, so maybe we can actually go through that sewer area to get towards Dawson's Mansion without it actually putting us right into that. Yeah, because, like, that sewer's not going to just come up into a freaking mansion, right? Whatever that, like, trench is. So why don't I give that a crack? Why don't we try and see where we get to going through that? And then we'll probably use that as a good excuse as to when to stop. There's Darius. Yes, so we got to go over and around.
The Swanborough cordial can be the answer to
The Swanborough cordial. Get out of here. Preying on the innocent. Curse that woman. Yeah, so we got to go down and around. And then we'll go back up. It's in the park. There's that little cut through. So we'll go do that.
Turn around, sir.
Let's see where that gets us. Hi, guys. Oh, this is a dead end. That's not ideal. I'll just leave him to deal with them. That's fine. Is this one also a dead end? Whoop, whoop. We gotta get into the park, not just near the park here. If I run long enough, they should leash. I'd rather not just have to fight random skull fights if we can avoid it. So now we're in the park. So this is like all the way to the north end of the park, gets us back into that little pit. Hi, friends. Yeah. What? I have a nice suit. I'm a respectable physician. Just cruising, you know, just cruising. That takes us back over to the quarantine barrier. So we gotta go up and over is how we got there. Yeah? Yeah, because it's over... around and down over here? Yeah, it's down this little stairwell. Yeah, so this is a loading screen. Hopefully it's just like a loading screen transition. We'll do a little quick mini dungeon here to get through to the other side. And then we'll have another half of the west end for the extra, because there's like 7 people still missing from our social sheet. The Temple Sewers. Sounds like one of the obstacles in Legends of the Hidden Temple. I do have to be cautious about there potentially being someone down here, because that's been kind of a recurring theme when we have sewer puzzles and sewer traversal, has been like, oh, by the way, there's also someone down here, and if you don't find a way to get to them and talk to them, they're going to be dead. So a lot of people chilling in the sewers here in London. At least it isn't like the first sewer we went into was so infested with enemies. It's locked, all right. And this one, at least in the intro here.
You shall learn to respect the laws.
Well, so that's what happens when I run my mouth. We got a dude who looks an awful lot like so what, a Volcod, I think is what it was called. So let's use old reliable, get some damage in. And then we can always swap back to the other one when we need blood. derfed it. What you doing? I don't know why I was so prepared. Like, I was so prepared for a boss at the theater with Doris, and yet me crawling into yet another sewer where we've already fought so many boss fights didn't even occur to me. Really just kind of silly, if I'm being honest. At least this one's been a little bit more straightforward. This is more like the fights we had in the apartments. I mean, this guy's literally the same thing as the other boss. This is just a straight up boss recycle. Even the arena isn't that much different.
I will crush you.
These guys kind of remind me of like Nosferatu from World of Darkness, vampiric lore, where they are always in the sewer and stuff because they just, you know, they can't pass as people. They're too monstrous. Oh, 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 that pillar's gonna kill me. Alright, so let's do a weapon switch. Oh no, he hit me! He hit me with the biggest left hand of his career. Alright. Now we know what's down there. Get through him. He needs more groupies, Arachnus. You're right. He probably would have stood an even better chance without the groupies. Took him way too long to kill me on his own. He summons the shadow clones. He only got like 1 or 2 of them off there, though. He's... So, kind of to add, I guess, to our conversation surrounding my weapon selections, right? Doris had that really wide open window to get parried. So that made the cudgel not that tough, because we were constantly getting parry windows on her. This guy, the parry window isn't as clean, and does he just manifest here? Does he jump down?
No one can hide from Ascalon.
No one can hide from Ascalon. Dude, I am Ascalon. I'm in the club, dog. So trying to get blood with the cudgel against this guy is harder, because we don't have as many opportunities to stun him. So that's what makes the saber have some advantage in a fight like this. That having been said, like, I can just try and learn the parry windows too, you know? Oh, didn't need to give me the boot, dog. Leon Augustin. You're a real rude dude, Leon Augustin.
Kneel, traitor!
Why am I a traitor? I don't understand your issue, Leon. Alright, full blood. Let's get the cudgel back out.
Your blood is now...
Ugh. Get my health. Yeah. Oh, we almost got stomped by one of the freaking shadow clones like an idiot. Wow. He hits so hard. Alright, quick tight parry. Stun lock him. Get out. He does that dash forward. Oh, you can't parry the boot though, son. Can't parry the boot.
Show me your...
Alright, pretty close. Get out, get out, get out. Get a heal in. Let's see if the ultimate can do enough here. No, not going to be enough, but it's a good chip.
I will...
There we go. The Violence of Volkids. New collectible. The Violence of Volkids. Never let the size of a Volkid fool you. These massive bastards can be as quick as any leech, and it can be put down the same way, by puncturing and pinning their rotten carcass to the ground before beheading them. Remember, it's all about preparation and exploiting your target's weaknesses. The problem, of course, is that Volkids have no weaknesses. They are strong, fast, sensible, and deadly. They are killing machines with one simple goal, to put their huge claws around your neck. So, if any of you lads are unlucky enough to ever face a Volkid, just remember this. Dodge and make it mad. Hurt it. Taunt it. Make it lose its temper. Volkid's brains lose it when irritated enough. They stop thinking and start blindly attack. This is your only chance to win, by gaining tactical advantage against a stupid beast. Use it. From Know Your Enemy by Carl Eldritch, Prywin Leader. Alright. They are among us. Investigation. Oh! That's the one for our buddy there, our childhood friend. He just wanted us to get him more info about the vampires in London. So it must be that we've found enough of the leaflets or whatever else it is. Alright, hang on. Let's get out of here and see where we pop our head up. What is this? Just a little side area. All right. Door's been unlocked. But this is where we came in to fight him. So what did I miss here? What route did I not understand? Instead of going up, do we just keep running? Oh, we got another wheel puzzle. The door has been unlocked. Okay. And that drains everything? I'm so confused. So that one, it looked like we were making a bridge. Yeah. So that door has been unlocked is telling me the bridge is correct. So got our nice little bridge. Who is maintaining all these barrel fires? What the hell? What? Where did all you guys come from? Good God. There's like a gajillion of you. What is this nonsense? Oh, bullshit. They're the ones maintaining the fires? I summoned them. They thought I wanted to give them credit for it. Nope, back out. I mean, there's literally too many of them for me to even dodge. No! Nonsense. Okay. Now it's just me on one skull, mano a mano. He's gonna kill me anyway, which is not great. Oof. My goodness, what an ambush. That was nonsense. Wait a minute. So that just loops us around. So where the hell am I actually supposed to go? Is there a different spot I can get up to? I'm so baffled right now. So now it's got to be something else with this, right? Is there a way I can make this go higher? Or am I supposed to make it go lower? So that's returning it down to nothing. Does this let me get through something on the other side? No, because this door's locked again now. What? Oh, there's a stairwell here. I see. Okay. And then, can I teleport this? Yeah. Yep. Okay. What an unbelievably silly mechanic to use. We've had it, what, twice there's been, like, the water wheel puzzle? Ooh. Some rats.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
How long are you gonna keep me locked in here?
Oh, is this? And look at that. Like clockwork. We've got the person we were trying to save. Oof. He snuck us one.
Disgusting asshole! Vampyr will never be alright!
Oh man, I just tried to parry, but I've got the one-handed weapon out with a gun. It's gonna cost us here. Yeah. Oh, how silly. All right. We're gonna get through this guy. We're gonna save her. And I think we're gonna call it. So we're just at 3 hours now. At least this, you know, I was worried about us putting ourselves in a situation where we weren't going to be able to get to the distress. I guess I just have to remember that, like, for all my concern about progressing things in such a way as to make it, like, lock us into stuff, very, very rarely has the game put us in a situation where we cannot, what am I trying to say? It rarely railroads us to the degree that I can't choose when to start actually engaging with a quest, right? Like, we've had a couple. The end of the tutorial was just like, nope, get on the boat, you're going to the Pembroke. But it is not often that they are just like, nope, this is what's happening.
You're feeble! How long are you gonna keep me locked in here?
See what I mean? Like, we do so much damage with the cudgel. It's hard to imagine not using this.
Let me go, you bastard!
Oh, until I biff a parry. Man, she is angry. Recent diary. 13th October 1918. I've just arrived in London after a grueling journey from Manchester. The city is sad and despaired. It will not be difficult to find a woman willing to escape death here. I cannot wait to start my research. Soon, I won't be a virgin anymore. 15th October 1918. The cell is ready. All I must do now is find the appropriate candidate and bring her in. She will be beautiful and gentle with a nice temper. Is this a vampire? This is an immortal incel. She will be beautiful and gentle with a nice temper. I've already tested my persuasion ability on a few women. It worked most of the time. But I don't want my future bride to be submissive. I will only use my power to bring her here. Then I'll tell her what I intend to do and I'll let her accept. This is important. I want my lady to willingly accept to become my wife for eternity. Ooh. 17th October 1918. I think I found the perfect match. Her name is Louise. She is a waitress in a public house and she is quite charming. I love her attitude when serving drink in that bar, though tough and proud. I'm sure she will accept my offer. Once she is mine, once the vampire blood will have achieved her metamorphosis, her face shall heal properly and the scars will disappear. Then she will be the perfect beauty I'm the only one to see right now. 18th of October 1918. I don't understand. Louise refuses my proposition. Why would she? I'm such a nice guy. She only dates assholes. I promised her I would never force her to anything. I may let her starve a little. Then she'll understand I'm her only option. Good Lord. Louise Teasdale one would assume, be the woman in the cell here. So these are the women that he tested it on, or just people he's been feeding on. Yeah, I wonder why she doesn't accept you, my dude. Like, her only view from that cell is this fucking creepy thing. Like, ignore the kidnapping and the, you know, attempted, I guess, psychological and
are you all right?
Life-based rape?
What do you want from me?
My
but
name
like,
is Jonathan
good gravy.
Reid. I'm a doctor. What happened to you? Why are you here?
I'm Louise Teasdale. I was kidnapped a few weeks ago by a vampire. Don't laugh, please, sir. It's no joke.
I believe you, Miss Teasdale.
That monster told me my father was dead, that no one was waiting for me outside.
You're safe now. You don't have to worry about the vampire. You should just return home.
Thank you, sir. I hope we'll meet again soon, because I'd really like you to teach me how to get rid of these creatures.
Yo, she's gonna let me train her as a vampire hunter.
Goodbye, Miss Teasdale.
That might not be in our best interest.
Be careful. Until we meet again.
All right. Miss Teasdale saved. We did it. Let's backtrack.